Hi there, today I'm taking a look at a Slovenian dessert wine, and I have here a half bottle of Domaine Ciringa's 2017 Fosilni Breg Desertno Vino. So I'm assuming Desertno Vino means dessert wine. This is 100% Sauvignon Blanc, and in their literature, although not on the label, they refer to this as a Beerenauslese. Possibly they're not entitled to use that term on the label. The wine from the Fosilni Breg vineyard, meaning fossil mountain, is actually the vineyard's a continuation of one of Austria's top Sauvignon Blanc vineyards, the Ried Zieregg, and that's owned by the Tement family, as indeed is Domaine Ciringa. So the same family owns the vineyard on both sides of the border, and vinifies both with the same care. I mean, for instance, on both sides of the border, the vineyards are certified as organic, and they use some biodynamic practices as well. Everything on these, so quite steep, quite high altitude vineyards. High altitude, we're talking about about 440 to 500 meters above sea level. So relatively cool, but with good sunlight exposure, and everything being hand harvested, obviously. The fact that this is described as a Beerenauslese suggests to me that there is at least an element of botrytis involved in its making. In terms of the winemaking, that seems to be mostly designed just to keep the fruit style in there, and they're aiming at a wine that will perhaps age for another 10 years. The wine ages in stainless steel tanks, so there's no oak influence, nothing to fill out the wine particularly. The stats I've seen suggest that this is 70 grams per litre of residual sugar, and so I'm expecting quite a simple, straightforward wine, given its cool climate regions, probably quite fresh acidity to balance that. So let's see what we make of it anyway. I mean, lovely colour. That has a sort of pale to medium gold note. It's quite vibrant. It's 15.5% alcohol, and yes, with the alcohol and with the sugar in there, you can see fairly obvious tears forming quite quickly as the wine runs down the glass. So let's have a look at the aromas, and those are really quite lovely. There's a very fresh element, there's sort of pineapple freshness, but there is a honeyed note. There are lifted honeysuckle notes above that. But yes, that sort of honeyed, ripe fruit, ripe pineapple, ripe stone fruit is quite vivid and quite intense on the nose. So let's have a taste. It's fully sweet wine, but not necessarily luscious. And yes, the acidity really kicks in. Pineapple's a good descriptive, because pineapple, with its sort of, quite tropical flavours and ripe and crisp acidity, is what you're seeing there, because you're getting a ripeness at first, and then you're getting quite a lean mineral acidity that's keeping the wine fresh. The wine's just a mid-weight. It's not being filled out with rich oak notes. There's that clean, I suppose, apricot, stone fruit, through to pineapple spectrum of flavours, overlaid with honey notes, which will be from botrytis, I guess, and finishing with quite a citric and mineral, almost steely acidity at the finish there. So midweight, not incredibly sweet. I mean, it's not lusciously sweet. This is fully sweet, but so I would be looking at pairing this with fruit desserts. Nothing too sweet. Would probably go beautifully with cheeses and cold meats, or you could drink it as an aperitif, which would also be lovely given its freshness. So yes, really interesting wine. That's Domaine Ciringa's Fosilni Breg Beerenauslese from 2016. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this interesting. Do join us again. Bye now.